Good evening and welcome to Up South. We come to you this Monday evening from a Bengaluru that is literally slipping into the dark ages. That's because with 4 hours of official power cuts and another 2 to 3 hours of unscheduled power cuts, Karnataka and Bengaluru are facing a huge power crisis. And because of that, Karnataka, much like these candles, is slipping away from the must investment destinations for most investors. That's our special focus on Up South this Monday evening. We come to you live this evening from the residence of the Bantyas in Bengaluru, and I can tell you most Bengalurians aren't really feeling very romantic at the prospect of several such candlelit evenings every evening here in Bengaluru. Is that the way you're looking at it? Too many candlelit dinners every day, right?
Yes, too much.
What is the big problem that you're facing because of this long hours of power cuts, unscheduled power cuts specifically?
See, it's basically disturbing our regular schedule of work, be it with regarding to the ladies' daily course at home or a business-related activity. It is always causing a hampering. And when it comes to business, it definitely causes a hindrance of customers running away from the thing. In case we do have a backup also at the business premises, how long will it last?
So, Bengaluru is becoming a genset city essentially these days.
Yes, it is. You can ask any genset seller, he says we are doing booming business.
Okay, fine. So, gensets are doing booming business. Your life is now being kind of converted around how the power cuts and power cuts कब होता है उसके हिसाब से अपना पूरा शेड्यूल चलाते हैं?
Yeah, definitely. अभी पावर कट की वजह से we have to change our time table. जैसे भी मिक्सी चलाना हो तो टाइम देखना पड़ता है. 7 o'clock हो गया, पावर जाने वाला, जल्दी करो, या फिर कुछ नहीं बना है. इसे मतलब बहुत सारे एडजस्टमेंट करने पड़ते हैं. शाम को भी बच्चों को पढ़ाना है, कुछ भी करना है, एग्जाम से, प्रोजेक्ट से. It becomes very difficult to manage.
Right. Okay. So those are very important points, but let's put it in perspective. What is really the cause for this huge crisis in Karnataka and of course in the capital city of Bengaluru, the Silicon Valley of India? Our Bengaluru team of Rohini Swami and Pratibha Raman bring us this report.
Deepti's dreams of finding a job in India's Silicon Valley has hit a roadblock in the form of the long hours of scheduled and unscheduled power cuts in Bengaluru. Her laptop gives up as she browses through various job portals trying to find that right job.
If I get a call in the evening that I have to attend a job tomorrow, I won't be able to search for the things, what are the related things but which I have to attend, and also it's very difficult for me to manage without a power.
Advik, an undergraduate student, says he can study only around midnight. Since he cannot afford a generator, he is at the mercy of the electricity authorities to give the much needed light in his life.
I cannot study for the 2 hours almost, and I do not have the UPS power banks, and we cannot afford the UPS power banks.
Karnataka is facing such a difficult situation this year because its reservoirs, thanks to an unprecedented drought, are only 1/3 full. The state needs 9,000 megawatts of power but has less than 6,000 megawatts, and the government wants the situation is unlikely to improve till January 2016.
We knew that there will be a drought situation. We have been warned by the meteorological department. So we have already purchased about 1,000 megawatt of power. By next February or something, we will be power surplus. Our 3-4 units, new units will be started. More than 2,000 megawatt of power will be added.
That would, however, mean that the Festival of Lights in Karnataka this year will be more a wish than a reality. With Rohini Swami and Pratibha Raman in Bengaluru, Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's get in a perspective. We have Dinesh Gundu Rao, who is the minister from Bengaluru in the cabinet of Karnataka. Also brand consultant Harish Bijur joining us from Bengaluru. Mr. Dinesh Gundu Rao, the manner in which the Karnataka government has mishandled this entire power situation has got a lot of flack for your government. Now, it is seen as sheer mismanagement. Would you agree that the Karnataka government has mishandled this entire situation?
No, I don't think it's a question of mismanagement. Unfortunately, the drought situation in Karnataka, I think, is among the highest in the country. And Karnataka depends a lot on hydel also. And all our reservoirs right now are at the lowest levels, though we've been getting some rains recently. So we've not been able to generate power. And normally, at this time, repairs of our thermal plants do take place because of the monsoons. Unfortunately, some of the thermal plants also units are down. But I'm sure government is doing its best to redeem the situation, and some of the plants will be up and running soon. And also, the government is planning to buy power. So whatever is there, I think, though we've had these 2 weeks of difficulty, I think in the next maybe a week or so, I think we'll be seeing a lot more improvement in the power situation.
Right. Harish Bijur, I was going through your Twitter timeline and I found this interesting tweet that you had put out which says a startup in Startup Uru, Bengaluru needs a genset more than a venture capitalist. Now, what kind of impression do you think it is sending out to the outside world? This is hardly the image that India's Silicon Valley should be sending out. Does absolutely no good to its branding.
Absolutely. You see, the way I look at it, I don't call Bengaluru anymore. It is Startup Uru. The total number of startups we have in the city is about 5,400. People waiting for funding is another 3,000, which means that 8,400 startups in this city, and we don't have electricity. So I think, that's a bit too much. And that's my view to say that, I think this city is going berserk. We are not giving startups the kind of a startup environment they require. So if a startup is going to look around for a genset more than a VC, I think that is pathetic.
Right. Harish, it's also very tough for the common man because I am told that street lights won't be on before 7 o'clock, which means another 20 minutes to go before the street lights are on in the city of Bengaluru and even other urban local bodies. Now, that's really causing a lot of hardship for the common man who's returning home from work.
Yeah, I think so, because, at the end of the day, there are a lot of chain snatchings in the city, which seem to be a very, very common element in some of the far-flung layouts of the city. So at the end of the day, if you don't have electricity for the common man, that's even worse. At least a startup can buy electricity. A common man cannot do that. And a common man, if the streetlights are put off early, I think is at the peril to say that after 6 o'clock, I must not and should not step out. And I think that's sad for a mega city like Bengaluru, which the whole world speaks about.
Right. Mr. Gudurao, you heard what Harish Bijuru had to say, that people wouldn't be very keen to step out after 6 o'clock in the evening. Now the festival season is upon us. We have Ganesh Chaturthi coming up, followed by Dussehra, which is a big festival in Karnataka, followed by Diwali. The festival season, the festival of lights isn't really going to be about festival of lights this time. How are you going to deal with that?
No, it's not a question of dark. I think it has to be, since there is a situation where power is we are deficient in power. So, especially in the rural areas and villages, if power is tapped illegally, it leads to a lot of problems for the village, in the village, and there could be blackouts and all that. So I think what he's trying to say is regulate it, don't, abuse or indulge in theft of power, and take permission and do it. And so that we can regulate it. That's all. Not that it's going to be a dark festival. I'm sure by Ganesh festival, you'll see load shedding coming down, and government is trying to buy a lot of power today. Unfortunately, government of India also is not supporting us. That's another problem that we are facing. But hopefully, I think by the Ganesh festival, definitely we will see a lot more improvement.
Right, Mr. Bijur and Mr. Gundurao, do stay on with us. I have with me Rohini Swamy, our Deputy Editor. Rohini, we saw a huge investment meet held in Tamil Nadu. Is there a sense in Karnataka, because of this power curse, the power crisis, Karnataka could actually lose out on the investment front to neighboring states which claim their power surplus, like Andhra, like Tamil Nadu?
Well, that is a big question at this point of time, because the worst hit are the small scale industries, and a lot of industries are looking at Karnataka, and what has happened at the end of the day is the fact that they feel that there's outage of for such long hours. As of now, it is 2 hours for most of the commercial places. But then if it's for longer, then what will they do? They'll have to spend more on generating power, buying power in terms of gensets and other backup. That is causing a problem. Though the Power Minister, when I spoke to him, did clearly say there's nothing to worry, you can continue to invest in Karnataka. But the point is that assurance is not done. What you actually need to see is that there is light at the end, the light of day.
Right. So there is little light at the end of the tunnel, at least now, except the light of these scandals. You just now voted perhaps in the civic polls. Did you go and vote? Yes. You voted. How do you feel now that you now have a Congress mayor in the city of Bengaluru, but this is the kind of situation that you are living in? Do you feel kind of shortchanged as a voter?
Yeah, really, because I mean, I thought that after the new civil body has come, probably there'll be some changes. I was actually being very positive when I saw the BESCOM Facebook page as well. I was very happy to see that they've actually shared the schedule on the social media where youngsters like us or everyone could actually get an idea of how the power cuts are. But they're not following that. The power cuts are very haphazard and it's not being followed. The schedule is not being followed as such.
Right. A severe drought situation, and in fact my producer tells me that we are also playing out the shots of the Maharaja of Mysuru praying at the Chamundeshwari temple for rains. In fact, Karnataka has faced an unprecedented drought this time, leading to the reservoirs just being about 1/3 full this time. Mr. Harish Pijur, the impression one is having is that there is some kind of a power game also playing out in Karnataka Congress government behind this lack of power. It shows the Chief Minister Siddaramaiah in a poor light, someone unable to provide the basic amenities of Bijli. Do you think there is a political power game also playing out within the Congress?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I really don't think this is the drought situation. Electricity is available, but it comes at a particular price. And the state government as such cannot afford to buy electricity at that particular price. Because, you know, obviously monies have to go through to n numbers of schemes, welfare schemes, which have been laid out. So if you really ask me, the stepmotherly treatment that's been meted out is to Bengaluru city. Because at the end of the day, Karnataka as a whole is a state. And Bengaluru is but one city in that entire state. So I think Bengaluru has to equally suffer, just as the rest of the cities of Karnataka suffer. So only difference is that this is startup Uru. And in a startup Uru, if you don't provide the ecosystem, startups will go elsewhere. You know, Bangalore has everything for a startup except electricity. Our Chief Minister has promised that it will get sorted out within 2 weeks. I think all of us are waiting to see that happen.
Right. Mr. Gunduru, I will ask the same question to you and I would expect a straight, honest reply. Will this power crisis lead to a crisis of power for your Chief Minister?
No, no, that question doesn't arise because Chief Minister has, backed fully whatever the Power Minister has asked for, and also he's given enough of full funds to buy. Already, I think more than 1,000 megawatts of power purchase has been tendered out. So I think that power will be getting soon. And Government of India, if supports us for the BJP, especially, they keep harping all over the state, complaining against the Congress government here. But unfortunately, the NDA government is not supporting or giving us power. We are willing to buy, but they are not supplying it to us. So, I think there's no question of this affecting the Chief Minister, but we have to, improve the situation, no doubt about it, and they are doing whatever is there within their command to see that things improve.
Right, fine. Your Power Minister has said that the situation will remain like this at least till January 2016. So that doesn't count for too well as far as Bengalurians and other people in other parts of Karnataka are concerned. Mr. Dinesh Gunduru and Harish Pijur and all my guests here, thanks a lot for joining us on Up South Time.